capable of building what we built is because we're lucky enough to come at a time in the Bitcoin developer space where tools have been built, like the Breez SDK, that make it so much easier to get started in building a Bitcoin company, a Bitcoin startup.
Hello everybody, welcome to Shoot the Breez, Building in Bitcoin, where we speak to the builders building the future of money. Today I'm speaking to Pierre from Flash, and he's going to tell us all about what they've been building and the journey that they've been on. So for folks that are unaware of you and your company, could you explain what you built?
So at Flash, we're essentially a payment gateway, payment processor, but we're doing things differently. We're using a new kind of technology that provides us with direct debit features in Bitcoin, which didn't exist up until recently. And we're essentially, thanks to that, building different payment interactions that allow us to never be part of the flow of funds. Therefore, we're not an intermediary in the payment. The only thing that we provide is actual software, and we communicate with wallets directly using this one protocol, regardless of the wallet. Yeah.
So what started you building?
So, very first thing I did in Bitcoin was a Bitcoin documentary. It's called The Great Reset and the Rise of Bitcoin. And, it's one of the most watched Bitcoin documentaries on YouTube. And as soon as I started monetizing, when I could, and I think there was a cap I had to reach, maybe it was like $3,000 or something before I could withdraw any kind of money. And the moment I tried to withdraw these funds, for whatever reason, my channel was then shadow banned, and I was no longer getting ad revenue. And also I was being sent during 3 months back and forth between Google Pay and YouTube as to whose fault it is and who's blocking the payment. It took a long time to resolve. Eventually got it resolved, but that just showed one of the big pains that there is with custodians, essentially, and the fact that they're a custodian in the business, and we just have no choice but to follow their rules and suffer, essentially. So that was kind of the first pain point that I personally felt. Then I've known my co-founder for a long time, but we started working together just on different AI stuff. We released together what was called then Talk to Satoshi, which was the first AI chatbot that would answer as if it was Satoshi, based on like Bitcoin books and stuff like that, which got a really good buzz. And essentially, we started adding through LNbits and their libraries. We started adding tipping inside of that platform because we were covering for the API costs in order to have the AI answer. And so we added just lightning tipping as if you wanted, you could send $10, $1, whatever it was, in order to help us. Not many people did do that, but we kind of realized we can actually build stuff, and maybe we can build this to solve the kind of problems that we had previously figured out. So in fact, the first products we have were stuff more for content creators. So our very first product was a paywall. That you just a script you add on your website, and this will generate a lightning invoice from your wallet, and when it's paid, the paywall disappears and you just earned whatever price you gave on.
Unbelievable. So actually, your kind of journey in this from the content creation side is basically all the issues that content creators face, right, when it comes to payments. So it's very easy to move information. It's incredibly hard to move value. And so from that kind of blocker, and you mentioned about documentary, so if we go back a little bit further, where did the passion for Bitcoin come from?
I think I've always been very much in tech, generally speaking, and very much in finance. I mean, I have a master's degree in finance, which is something I never thought I would do, I guess. But anyway, and so I was anyway working in financial information systems. So at the intersection of tech for managing accounts and payments and so on. So, I was already in this world, and was still working at Accenture. Like my last project, in fact, before I quit my fiat mining job to get started in the Bitcoin world, was a project for Microsoft, which is supposed to be the dream project for management consultants like I was back then, because great name, great client, big problems with huge impact. But I was really in this mood of what do I care saving a few $1 million for Microsoft kind of thing, just by improving the efficiency of some of their like financial processes. So I told my boss, yeah, no, I quit. He said, wait, but you just started Microsoft. What's up? Maybe we need to find something else, but it's going to be hard to find better. I said, no, actually, I want to quit. I want to focus on Bitcoin. And yeah, 3 months after my decision, I just decided to make a film out of all things. I mean, I was always into filmmaking, so that's of course, just my personal interest. But yeah, somehow the first thing I wanted to do was a documentary.
And so, as I'm one of the things that I'm taking away is it sounds as though your journey actually into Bitcoin, because everything you mentioned about Bitcoin is it's a medium of exchange. And I was curious because obviously there's a counterculture kind of conversation at the moment between store of value and medium of exchange, and the opinion of Breez has to be both, like I think most people would say, right? But why do you think that you have then, as a business interest, focused on medium of exchange?
I think, especially because after seeing how a lot of these companies that facilitate Bitcoin as a medium of exchange work, and especially, again, the fact that there are intermediaries today when we have the tech that allows us to remove intermediaries, right? And I understand business processes that make it easier to take custody of someone's funds and then allow the merchant to get access to this money after you took your fees and all of this. But there's just different ways of doing it, and I think there's an entire industry there that can be disrupted at the protocol level directly, which I think is an interesting problem to work on, essentially.
I mean, yeah. And so we move ahead. You've gone, so you've had your previous career, Accenture. You've then gone into Bitcoin. You've gone into content. You've gone into making again more content, more entertainment focused with the kind of chatbot as well. Flash. You mentioned about the issues that you had. So there's still a leap to go from that 0 to 1. So how did you get there?
Yeah, so there was something completely in between this Talk to Satoshi chatbot and Flash, which was about 6 months, I'd say, of work. Just yeah, trying to automate the payment to APIs, just essentially similar to like L402, but more Nostr native, which was really just again a problem that was interesting to focus on. But yeah, the week we soft released, we thought actually we kind of have to move away from that. It's maybe a bit too niche. No one's really going to use it. We have to be able to approach. A different type of user base, and then be able to bring in more developers, which is the path we're on. But in that process, this is the moment when we discovered this technology, Nostr Wallet Connect, which is what we use, and we kind of realized, okay, in the solution that we have, we're allowing for two types of wallet connections. One of them is Lightning address. The other one is Nostr Wallet Connect. And Lightning address is the most convenient one, right? It's the easiest one. Just copy paste your Lightning address and so on. But if you want to be able to take a fee, well, then you need to be a custodian or like, money transmitter, in the sense that your wallet needs to get paid, and then you can automatically forward whatever, amount minus your fee. But this is custodian in that sense. And in this realization, we saw, well, okay, but Nostr Wallet Connect is different though. Because if we think of the first product that we launched with Flash, again, was a paywall. Well, then if we do it with the Lightning address, then it's our wallet that generates the Lightning address in order for the payment to go there. And then we auto forward this to the Lightning address of the merchant, and he can get paid, and we keep our fee, right? Now, the same process, if we use Nostr Wallet Connect, is very different because it just allows us to directly communicate with the merchant wallet, generate an invoice. Then this is the QR code we present in the front end. The customer pays that person directly. And we know when this happened because it's through our software. And Nostr Wallet Connect allows us to also trigger payments. And so then we just generate an invoice from our wallet and we send it over to that other wallet saying, hey, you should pay this. And if, in our request, we check all the boxes, all the permissions given to us by the wallet, well, then the wallet will sign the transaction automatically, right? And so this process allows us to just not be involved and not be a custodian. And so we took the hard decision then when we said, okay, we should like move on to something simpler. I said, okay, well, I think what we should do is we should commit to Nostr Wallet Connect, because that's how we can continue building this without requiring um, yeah, without having to hold our users' funds, even if it's for a split second.
This is such a culture shift as well, because you're up against, traditionally everyone's custodian with bank accounts, custodian or custodial options. How have you found folks that, so I imagine that the first raft of users are Bitcoiners, so they understand a lot of that. What about folks who have maybe potentially new, or not as savvy with that? How have you found that education?
Not necessarily harder, to be honest. It's almost harder to educate Bitcoiners when it comes to that because, again, with Nostr Wallet Connect, we can do pull payments. It's direct debit in Bitcoin. You ask any Bitcoiner that never heard of it, and he'll tell you it's impossible because that's just not how Bitcoin is built. It's only push payments, right? It's only in this one direction. You can't pull payments, and unless it's like a custodian solution, Nostr Wallet Connect completely changes that. Which is why we're very committed to it. But then explaining to a Bitcoiner that no, actually you can do that. Well, because there's this tag. Yeah, it's connected to Nostr. No, we don't care about Nostr as a social network. It's just, communication layer, right? Like there's just so many more steps that to someone that isn't educated, you explain that it's non-custodial, that it is much more sovereign. And you remove the intermediaries. We don't hold user funds. Like this is more the vocabulary that we're using then. Now, of course, we can dig down into the technicals of it and be able to explain all of it. But yeah, it doesn't take that much to convince them because they just understand instantly the benefit of it. I mean, there's no cheating the fact that your wallet gets paid first. Like it's a matter of just you create a Flash account, you connect your wallet, and the moment you use, I don't know, our point of sale or payment link, whatever it is, well, in your wallet, you'll see an incoming transaction. So this is what the customer paid to you. And then the exact same minute, the exact same second, you have an outgoing transaction. And this is the fee that we capture, right? There's no cheating that. You can see always the pre-image. Like, I mean, yeah, you can always compare with the customer. Is this the original invoice I paid and so on? And yeah, the answer is yes. So, it's just easy to make it visual.
Okay, and what type of users have you got? Is it an eclectic mix? Is there any specific area that you've seen traction from so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of because we have a lot of different tools. So it is, you know, I wouldn't say all over the place, but we do have a lot of people that value our stores because you can just create a store and manage inventory, link it to a point of sale. So this is getting quite a bit of popularity. We do have some partnerships when it comes to that. For example, with the guys at Fedi. So we managed to do a direct integration into Fedi. So we're going to be the point of sale solution for their users directly, not using the Flash wallet at all, right? This is only using our web application just inside of their environment. And so, a lot of the store kind of users there, we were surprised to see not a lot of e-commerce integrations. We put quite a bit of focus in creating such integrations, and in the end, not a lot of interest there. So, we just learn, we adjust, and see where it's going. Now, we do have a new product coming out, which is just us opening our APIs that chains and automates fee capturing and like flow of funds. And this, I mean, we're seeing already, a strong partner when it comes to that, that could open up a whole new market for us. Yeah, but that's officially for the end of August.
The thing that I'm then interested in is, what was the journey that led you to the Breez SDK?
So first of all, we're the first ones that offered a subscription service in Bitcoin, right? But the issue was more around the fact that not a lot of wallets did have Nostr Wallet Connect, and especially, we're trying to do things in this non-custodial environment where we don't ever want to hold user keys and their money. So we were trying to figure out a way. Okay, so how can we offer a solution that is free, that is easy to get started with, and not non-technical, and yeah, non-custodial. And then we talked with Roy. We were trying to get some advice, exactly what's the easiest way to get started and to reach these goals. And so he recommended, so go with the Breez SDK definitely, and recommending the nodeless SDK as being the fastest one to be able to actually create a wallet and put something out there, which is exactly what our goal was. What we wanted to be able to do was create a mobile wallet that is easy to set up, to which we plug in Nostr Wallet Connect, right? So building the actual wallet itself with the Breez SDK just took a few weeks. adding Nostr Wallet Connect through notification support, allowing for these automated payments, all this kind of stuff. This is what took us months of work. And so it was good that we could um, remove the complexity of building the wallet in order to focus on what matters to us and what we're trying to bring disruption with, which is Nostr Wallet Connect. Right?
What benefits did that bring you internally? It sounds as though it freed up time to focus on the things that matter. It's kind of where you're going with it.
We're only leveraging technology that is out there. Like, I mean, if we're capable of building what we built, it's because we're lucky enough to come at a time in the Bitcoin developer space where tools have been built, like the Breez SDK, like Nostr Wallet Connect, that make it so much easier to get started in building a Bitcoin company, a Bitcoin startup. And so we're leveraging these tools there. Breez SDK, I mean, I can't imagine the amount of work it would be if we had to, go a different route. There are tools out there, of course, but the Breez SDK abstracts a lot of that and simplifies it. So, yeah, I mean, most definitely allowing us to, thanks to the simplicity of the Breez SDK, to have one developer whose main focus was that, while other developers could work on the Nostr Wallet Connect side of things. What matters to our business is how we manage Nostr Wallet Connect, handling the payments, automating the payment monitoring, automating fee distribution. All this part is what matters to Flash as a business. The wallet is really an enabler, simplifying onboarding, making it easier for consumers if they need a compatible wallet for these subscriptions that we can trigger payments from even if the phone is locked in someone's pocket, right? So that's really what we needed to be able to focus on, and the Breez SDK made this definitely easier. So yeah, for sure. I guess it saved us a bunch of resources there.
How do you see the next couple of years playing out from your position at Flash?
Well, the next couple of years, I think, are going to be pretty interesting because regulation is going to come. And a lot of the companies that were doing things in a fully custodial way will realize that they can't do this anymore, or at least not in certain markets. So they're either going to have to become compliant or they're going to have to leave. And and I think that's interesting. And we're of course concerned too, right? Like we need to make sure that we are properly compliant. Like no one avoids that. I do think for businesses that manage to step away from the custody, things will be a lot easier. I think there's a bunch of even simple apps, if you think about it today in the Bitcoin space, that should follow custodian processes based on how it works. I don't know, like some rewards distribution apps, um, gaming, um, gaming, like gaming rewards as well, distribution kind of thing. Like um, a lot of them are custodian, and not all of them are compliant with custodian processes. And so I think, to be fair, like that's a good thing in the sense that this is how things needed to be built because the tools weren't there. That's coming back to the point where like we're lucky enough that now these tools exist, making it easier. So I think that a lot of these businesses, they're going to have to reconsider exactly what it is um, that they offer, what tech do they use currently, and what tech could they potentially use that could solve such issues. Because I believe um, a lot of these services they don't need to hold custody of users' funds. Like there's tech like Nostr Wallet Connect allow a wallet to be connected to your application and interact with that wallet directly without holding their funds or even temporarily. Like I mean, yeah, this kind of stuff is possible now, and I think it's pretty exciting because regulation just forces us to do better. I think in that sense because it does force us to either follow the proper custodian rules because it's hard to trust a custodian that doesn't have the right insurance assurances in the background for you, and so it might force more people to go the proper self-custodial route or non-custodial because then again the custody definition can differ depending on the networks you use, but non-custodial I think is let's say important here.
We know where the future's going. You've mentioned about the regulatory landscape. What about for you guys? What can anything that you want to share? What you guys are building? What's coming up? tell us what can people be looking forward to, and what are you looking forward to building?
Yeah. So, we have a lot of stuff coming up. Essentially, we started realizing that the SaaS platform that we're building is not really what Flash is, actually. SaaS platform is one of the things we do. Our wallet is a second one, completely separate from our SaaS platform. We're also providing point of sale devices to events. So we've got BTC Hall next week coming up, where we're the official payment provider. Bitcoin Asia in Hong Kong, where we're also going to be the official payment provider, where we provide them with point of sale devices with the full service of onboarding merchants and all of that. They can even get part of the fee instantly. And, this entire setup is fully non-custodial all the way, right? So it's easy and a use case that we think can really scale. But beyond that, our realization was actually we're more into automating a lot of the backend infrastructure that is needed to monitor payments and payment requests. And because of how good we got in understanding this technology that is Nostr Wallet Connect, well, then we can build APIs that allow us to add extra business logic, allowing for multiple actors to be paid instantly from one payment, right? Allowing them to trigger different payments based on their business needs. And this is regardless of what wallet any participant is using, right? It can be one merchant using an Albi wallet, his customer using Coinos, the platform using I don't know, whatever other wallet, Primal, and us using, a separate wallet altogether. We can still chain payments between all of them, making sure that each individual along the road takes the fee that he is supposed to take from the right actor, only the right amount, before then forwarding the rest of the amount that he owes to the, yeah, anyway. So chaining payments, I think, is a pretty exciting one. Allowing all of this to be done without custody makes it so much easier for businesses, because a lot of businesses today, if they want to start integrating such Bitcoin payments, they need to worry about the custody element. And, we can abstract that from them directly just through simplifying different APIs there. So, it's a lot of the use cases that we can find that can help solve solutions for bigger business as well.
Final thing, anything else you want to share? Anything, links, anything, any updates you want to share? Now's your time.
Yeah, sure. So, there is one new thing in Flash right now that we literally added last week. We added support, and this will also be part of all our APIs that we're releasing end of August. You can just on our payment link, on a bunch of our products already now in our platform, you can generate a payment link or store payment request, and we will use Nostr Wallet Connect in order to generate a Lightning invoice. And using this Lightning invoice, we use bolts, swaps, submarine swaps, in order to also generate an on-chain payment request. So, if you only have a Lightning wallet that you connected to Flash, well, as a business, you can still receive payments on-chain, which, we just released it this weekend. We already had a few, and we didn't communicate anything to anyone yet, just, testing the ground, how everything is working. And we see we already had some sales that happened on-chain. And so that's pretty good. But generally speaking, yeah, just go check out Flash. It's free to get started. Just create an account, see what wallet you can connect. There's our wallet, of course, as well, built with the Breez SDK. And and let us know what it's like.
Amazing. There we go. So folks, go and check it all out. Pierre, thank you for coming on to Shoot the Breez. And folks, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks a lot, Danny.